In this video, I'd like to introduce you to a method that allows you to earn a solid income while shiny hunting. I'll also share my results from 2 hours of farming. About a month ago, YouTube recommended a live stream by Poke. He was shiny hunting for a Chansey and was actively collecting lucky eggs along the way. We chatted about other beginner-friendly methods for shiny hunting, while farming valuable items at the same time. He recommended the Lanturn DeepSeaScale hunt. Shiny Lanturn looks amazing and DeepSeaScales can be sold on the GTL for around 18,000 Pokéyen. This method also has no high entry costs and no additional item requirements. The only cost involved is the listing fee when selling the items. Huge thanks to Poke for the recommendation and the great stream. Before we begin, a quick note on something personal. Thanks to our amazing community and your incredible support, the channel has been enabled for memberships. You can now become a member of the Mystery Club and enjoy the following benefits: exclusive emojis, exclusive badges, member first videos, and every member will be mentioned at the end of my future videos. Thank you once again for your amazing support. Now let's move on to the requirements. Basically, all you need is a Pokemon with the ability Frisk and the move Thief, as well as access to the moves Surf, Dive, Sweet Scent and Teleport. These are the minimum requirements for this hunt. Since the goal of this method is ideally a shiny Lanturn, it's also worth bringing a catching Pokemon. Additionally, I recommend bringing a ground-type Pokemon with Thief. This will save you a lot of time in the long run because Lanturn uses Discharge. You wouldn't believe how often these Lanturn paralyzed my Dusknoir with Discharge. And if your Frisk Pokemon gets paralyzed and you need to use Thief up to 5 times depending on your luck, the battle can drag on for quite a while. Another advantage of having a second Thief Pokemon is that sometimes a horde can carry 2 items, and you'll want to be able to steal both. Now, how should you proceed? Start in Statistically City and use Surf. Dive at the designated spot, exit the underwater chamber, and this is where you'll hunt Lanturn using Sweet Scent. Personally, I start with my level 100 Dusknoir, which has the ability Frisk. It has 31 IVs in HP and max EVs in defense and special defense. Since it may need to take a few hits, I recommend using a bulky Frisk Pokemon. At the same time, don't neglect the attack stat, because ideally we want to defeat Lanturn with 1 Thief attack. Once the Frisk Pokemon detects an item, switch to your ground-type Pokemon. I'm using a Gligar level 90. IVs and EVs aren't that important, but it helps if it has high HP, attack and or special defense. Ideally, you'd use a level 100 Pokemon, but I haven't had the time to train it yet. Gligar was more of a spontaneous solution to deal with the paralysis issue. After you've stolen the item from Lanturn using Thief, you can flee the battle. Don't forget to remove the item from your Pokemon afterward. Thief only works if the user isn't holding an item. If you encounter a horde with 2 items, use Thief with your Frisk Pokemon until you get the first item. Then switch to your second Thief Pokemon to steal the second item. Once you've used up all your Sweet Scents, resurface, use Teleport, heal your Pokemon and start the cycle again. Before we get to the results, I've got a quick stat about you. 89% of you watching my videos aren't subscribed yet. So if you enjoy my content and don't want to miss any future money-making videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It's totally free and makes a huge difference for a small creator like me. Alright, with that out of the way, let's move on to the results. As always, I've divided my results into 2 rounds, each lasting 1 hour. In round 1, I had a total of 87 encounters, of which 67 or 77% were Lanturn. The remaining encounters were mostly Magikarp, which appeared while traveling between the Pokemon Center and the dive spot. I chose not to use repels to save on costs. Note that I counted the Lanturn horde as 1 encounter and not 5. From these 67 encounters, I obtained 25 items, resulting in an item rate per horde of 37.3%. Among those 25 items were 3 DeepSeaScales and 22 Yellow Shards, giving a DeepSeaScale rate per horde of 4.5%. Round 2 went a bit better. I had 72 encounters, of which 62 or 86.1% were Lanturn hordes. From these 62 encounters, I obtained 29 items, resulting in an item rate per horde of 46.8%. Among those 29 items were 5 DeepSeaScales and 24 Yellow Shards, giving a DeepSeaScale rate per horde of 8.1%. Let's talk revenue. I was able to sell the DeepSeaScales for 18,300 Pokéyen each. At the time of recording, Yellow Shards were worth 2,000 Pokéyen on the GTL. However, there's a neat trick to increase your revenue from Yellow Shards. In the house just west of Moss Deep City, you can trade Yellow Shards for Thunderstones. Thunderstones can be sold on the GTL for 2,800 Pokéyen, which is 40% more than Yellow Shards. In round 1, I made 116,500 Pokéyen, and in round 2, 158,700 Pokéyen in revenue. The only costs involved were the listing fees for the items, which amounted to 5,825 Pokéyen in round 1 and 7,935 Pokéyen in round 2. After subtracting the costs, the average net profit per hour comes out to 130,720 Pokéyen. I really like shiny hunts that also generate a solid net profit. While this method doesn't quite make it into the top 10 of all the methods I've analyzed so far, if you're shiny hunting Lanturn, I think this is the best way to do it. A net profit of 130k is still a solid reward for shiny hunting. You know my opinion, in PokeMMO you don't always have to use the most profitable method. That can lead to you burning out. It's much more about variety and exploring the many different aspects of the game. Do you know any other spots where you can earn good Pokéyen while shiny hunting? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. If you've made it so far, there's a high probability you're going to like these two videos as well. See you in the next one.